Hi everybody, this is Jody again. I just wanted to share a story with you all I thought was interesting. Um, a few months ago, was just looking up random songs to download off of YouTube, like I do sometimes, and I remembered one song that's very good, and I'll put the link on the side. It's called Scooby Snacks by the Fun Lovin' Criminals. It's a nice early 90s alternative rock type of song. It's kind of like I couldn't quite describe it. Just mellow, interesting lyrics, and just nice to have a copy of. And it has clips of sound bites of the classic movie Pulp Fiction in it. And at the time, and this is why I put in my comment on the video, was I didn't know anything about. I guess I heard of Pulp Fiction before, but I didn't really know anything about it at the time. I didn't really have permission at the time to watch the more explicit adult content type of movies. When I was about 9, I watched Pretty Woman, which has always been a favorite of mine since, but nothing really explicit. It's not like you can ask permission as a kid to watch something like that. And it wasn't like they were going to play it, at the 2 or 3 in the afternoon on the local Fox affiliate. You didn't have cable as a kid, so it was basically when I was older, I watched it, and now I have an actual DVD copy of the movie. Anyway, I said on the comments, hey, at the time, I didn't know where the soundbites came from because I never watched the movie Pulp Fiction. Now that I've watched it, the song has a new meaning to it. I could tell that the soundbites were from a movie, but I didn't know which one. I was smart enough to figure out it was a movie. It wasn't. It was out of context of the song. But anyway, I put that, and then someone said, I've never. Someone replied to me saying, I've never watched the movie Pulp Fiction before. I just have heard the song before, and I said, I highly recommend you watching this film if you can stomach graphic scenes in the movie and, gore and that kind of thing. It's a good movie. And I was actually nice enough to email them because I said you could probably find it on YouTube. I actually tried to find it earlier on YouTube and I couldn't find it, but at the time I did find a several part 10-minute increments of the movie on YouTube. And I said if you can stand clicking every 10 minutes on a new link, then watch it. And then they said, well, I don't think I could stand that. So I was actually nice enough to find, streaming online, a copy of it. About a month ago, this person emailed me, and this was several months ago, so obviously they put off watching it. I don't know if they rented a copy or they used a copy that I found online and they eventually watched it. I don't know what happened, but they emailed me saying it was, 6 out of 10 stars or something like that, and they liked it, but they'd never watch it again or something. And that actually put a dagger in my heart because I love that movie. But I can understand not everyone liking it, especially because the end is at the beginning and all that stuff. People can't figure out that part. And they said, well, I watched it. And at the time that I recommended the movie, I was thinking anyone over 18 that's watched this movie. And then one of the messages, they called me mate. And I'm thinking, oh, they're from a different country, that's why. So, flash forward to this last week, after saying I watched the movie and then a while has passed, they all of a sudden say, uh, Mrs. Wallace's joke about the tomatoes or something along those lines. Did you get that joke? I replied saying yes, and I said, in this country, and I explained in this country on some bubble gum wrappers, bazooka gum wrappers, the popsicle sticks, and some candy. I was thinking Laffy Taffy, but how can you explain Laffy Taffy? You know what I mean? I said certain candies, gums, and popsicle sticks. There are these cheesy jokes that kids would like, and they have what are called puns that are uh, they replace a word. It sounds like a certain word that you would usually say, but they replace it, and that's the punchline, and it's called a pun. And they said, "Oh, we don't have those things in Sweden," and this person is in Sweden. This is what I just found out recently. And so anyway, I nicely explained, and if someone sounds sincere, I do respectably answer the question. If it sounds like they're being sarcastic, I try to just blow them off. But this person sincerely was asking me, "What's the deal with this tomato joke?" And I'm going to play it right now. I have a copy on my computer, and I'm going to put it on right at this second. So.
3 tomatoes are walking down the street. Papa tomato, mama tomato, and baby tomato. Baby tomato starts lagging behind, and Papa tomato gets really angry. Goes back and squishes him. Says, ketchup.
Anyway.
Ketchup.
I think enough time has passed. But anyway, I sincerely answered the question, and I asked permission from them if I could talk about this because, just out of respect, I didn't want to blab about their business. It's kind of embarrassing when you can't get a joke and you have to ask someone what it meant. It makes you feel dense. And this person's name, I'll put the link on the side for their channel, is Hampy966. And so that was basically it. And what I wanted to share was it's so fascinating because of cultural differences. And I don't even know if they got the, Big Mac and that conversation too. I would really like to know if they got that, which I don't know if they would or not. But I just think it's so fascinating because they said they do have ketchup where they live. And of course everyone has ketchup, but if it's sometimes there's slang, so they call it a different thing than we do because of the slang that they use. So that's another fascinating thing about it. Uh, so I just thought that was fascinating that they didn't get this. It's like we take that for granted because we're like, oh well, a little 6-year-old thinks that type of humor is funny. But as an adult, we think it's lame. But then, a grown person, you imagine a grown person in another country not understanding that joke just because they were brought up in a different country. And I'm not making fun of this person, I just want to make that clear. I just think it's fascinating that because of cultural differences, they did not get the ketchup joke from Pulp Fiction. And I'm glad they asked me, someone that's totally respectful of them. I'm not respectful of other people, like my infomercial video, but this one person I'm very respectful because I get being embarrassed, but having to ask someone because you don't get it. Uh, so anyway, I just thought I'd share.